I have Clara and Delia Schizzano here, and there's one other sister, Adrian, Adriana, who is not with us. So we're going to begin the discussion with Clara Schizzano about the war years when they resided in Palermo. Okay. Do you want to talk a little bit about what occurred in Palermo during the bombings?
Well, they were bombing every day. Every day there was, every night there was sirens, and we had a suitcase with the document and important things. We ran down with a suitcase, and we go and stay in a basement of the building, which I don't know how you could come out alive, but that was we don't want to stay in the building, and so that's what we did. And so they were the sirens, and then we started hearing the mitragliatrice. The Italian had in the building the mitragliatrice, non so come si chiamano in English, and they were trying to shoot the plane, and they were bombing. So it was a sort of a every night thing. It was very scary. So we did that for a long time. And then we decided it was unbearable, and so we left the city for a safer place. And most of the people that had some money, they left for a safer place, and they were calling us the rifugiati. Refugiati. We went in small town, and everybody looked for a place in a little town somewhere. And the town we went, it was called Lipari. And we went there. Actually, I think we went in a cart for transportation, and we were all sitting there, and we went to this town. And when you go to the town, there is I never seen a small town before because I lived in the city, streets, sidewalk, buses, and everything. So you go to a small town, and there was a square, big square, and a church. And in the square were only men dressed in black, cape, and we thought it was very strange. And we were just amazed looking at this scene. We never seen a big square, very big square, with the church and nobody there except men. And so then everybody was renting in those little towns that were up further from the city, because of the American weren't going to waste the bomb to those little town. Maybe they were like 2 hours from Palermo, 3 hours, that I don't remember. So they were renting to the refugee those places, and they were even renting stable to family. And we went to a nice, we had a connection, and somebody had a nice vacation home because it was a beautiful town in the country. And they were renting this vacation home, one room for each family. So we had a room that was like a half of this for our family. That's all we had, this room. And then I think we all used the same toilet. And then another family, another room, another family, another room. And they were even renting. The people in the small town were making money. They were even renting their stable, because where were all those people from the city were going to go? They had no place to go. And there we were safe. And so I was young, and I thought it was fun, because I was about 10 years old. So I thought, oh, this was very exciting. I wasn't thinking of die when you're 10 years old. You say, oh, look at this, look at that. And there were, in fact, a lot of ranch of lemon places there in this town. And I used to go with another little girlfriend. We were going, and with this, there were no guards because we're only lemons, and so they didn't have guards. And we used to go eat lemons, and I got sick. My mother had to take me to the doctor because you can't eat that many lemons, you know. And even today, people watch me. I can eat a lemon like it was a piece of fruit. I can eat because I learned that we were kids, and they say, oh, and since there was nobody there, we called us kids. We called the Festa America. We go to America because there's nobody there to kick us out. But there were other places that they had grain, and boy, that you couldn't go. Because they were watching the lemons, but the spiga di grano, it was full. And so I remember once we went there, and then somebody saw, and we ran away, and we lost our shoes because we had flip-flop, and we lost the shoes when we went that place. Then we found, we were adventuring. Then we found a tree someplace on the highway that had almonds, fresh almonds, a tree of almonds. So we sat there and we started cracking the almonds and eating, and they taste very good. I never had fresh almonds. So some people went by and said, you people ate all those almonds? And, you know, we found little friends like that there also were sfollati, or 4 or 5 kids. We were going out adventuring, and we got sick eating all those fresh almonds too. You crack and eat the almonds. It was really good. And that's what we did every day.
Did have to go back.
Oh.
What happened when you went back?
Back in the city?
Yes.
Oh, yes. When, of course, when they say that the bomb was stopping, we went back when the American came in. Everybody, so when are the American coming? When the American coming? And so we were saying, let's make ourselves very ugly. So because we were thinking of the time that they were taking prison all the beautiful women of the Roman time. They were not going to take America. We're looking to take anybody prison because there were plenty of real women available, you know, and we were really kids. And so they stopped bombing. The American came in, and there were German in Italy, and the German was running away like crazy out of Italy. There were also German way in the small town running away. And we found out that the American came in and we could go back to our home. And when we were back to our home, the American were taking homes not to take it away for residents. They needed a place to stay. And then we'll go some house and they take and they live in that house. So my older sister spoke English and she talked to them, and I don't know how she managed. They let us go back into our house.
And did you find, I heard that a lot of your furniture was taken.
Yes, but we're not the American. Where we were gone, before the American went in, there were thieves going. There were thieves, you know, when there's things like that. They go robbing all the houses. And so it was not the American, but thieves went into the house and robbed some furniture, things, objects, and not all furniture or anything like that, but several things. And we saw them. They were for sale somewhere.
You mean on the black market?
Yes. People were thieves. They were not afraid of the bombs. So they stay in the city, robbing the nice houses. It was not the American. The American wants the house as a residence, but we didn't give it to them. But they were taking home as a residence.
Yeah.
The people that they don't want to go to college, they have technical school. They have a different school. So my mother had big ideas, which we all went to college. So there was a gymnasio. They call it gymnasio. After the elementary school, you have first 3 years, and then 5 years, and then you have a liceo. And after liceo, you go to the university. But you have to select whether you are liceo classico or liceo scientifico. Liceo classico, you study all the literature and stuff like that. Scientifico, if you want to go into the science. So we all chose a classico.
Okay. So then basically, do you remember when they had elections after the war to end the monarchy?
Yeah, I remember vaguely, but I was not.
You couldn't vote.
No, I couldn't vote. No, you're not that age. You're not politically inclined. You don't care. I remember there was a king, Vittorio Emanuele, and then they were going to depose the king and going to start the Repubblica. I know, but I was not really interested.
What were your parents' feelings about all of that?
Well, my father was never there. My father was always in America, and so made the situation different. My father went in America twice. The first time he went, and he hated and decided to come home. After he came home, the workers realized that he wasn't making any money. The work was no good. So he went back to America. So when all this happened, my father was in America. And so we were a mother with 4 children.
That's rough.
Yes. But there was also an interesting situation. We were 4 children, and my oldest sister, big drama.
I know Delia, you, and your other sister, but I didn't know you had 4 sisters.
Oh, yeah, Pia.
Did Pia stay, or did she come to New York?
No, Pia, we went, wait a minute, Pia, we went to New York.
No, but let me say something very important. My sister Pia, I think even as today, is the most brilliant person that I've ever encountered.
Yeah.
So when she was 21, she already had a PhD in Italy. And I have that hat to prove it, and I'll get it for you because it's incredible.
We're going to take a picture of it.
And
yes.
That she already was speaking English. Not very well, but she spoke English.
Yes,
and
that's what I told you. She talked to the American, and she said, "No, don't come. You cannot take my house."
On the radio, and she was doing a lot of, because she was very well known in Palermo because she was so brilliant, and she spoke not just English, Spanish, Latin, Greek, German. She was an incredible human being. I mean, brilliant. And so she was the leader of the house, not my mother. And
because my father was in America, so she was the oldest, and she took over.
And to really understand her, when we came to the United States, she was able, as a foreigner from New York, to land a job at the University of Berkeley.
Yes, so that was incredible. That was
an incredible thing.
Well, now, okay, I'm going to be taking a picture of this hat. Do you want to explain what that is?
So
this is an heirloom.
Yes. So what happens when you graduate that high up? You've conquered the world, so to speak. And so these are all things that have to do with the world.
Now, was this in Italy?
Yes.
Oh my
yes.
God.
No, this is when she got her PhD.
This is a new university. I have a picture of her with this somewhere.
This is what you wear when you graduate.
Yes,
And so
when you graduate,
create-
and the different color according. This is the lettere filosofie, Israele lettere
philosophy.
filosofia.
See,
But if it was another course, this would be different color, and they put all these funny things.
But,
It's
so,
sort
but
of,
all this is about
symbolism.
But this is all about life and the plane for traveling and the boots here. But I mean, every little thing. And
well, I don't know the symbolism.
but look, you can see the symbols because of the earth. So you see, you need the animals. Remember, you need animals to help
Well, this is
the economy.
this is kind of an addition to this discovery here in talking. And I'm going to take a picture of it after we finish the interview.
And look at
And
here,
this is,
because
I've never seen anything
because
like
you
this.
have hope for to get married and have children. So this represents life on earth.
Now, did Pia live in Berkeley?
Yes.
Yes,
course.
she left us immediately, and she lived in Berkeley. And in Berkeley, she met a professor, and she got married in Berkeley.
So it was very interesting because she met Johannes Praskauer, who was a German Jew, also escaped, hid in a closet, while his parents got killed, and so went to England.
They sent the little kid to England.
So he was rescued by hiding in the closet when they came in. They killed his parents, but they didn't see the little boy. See? So he was raised in England, came out to Berkeley. He was the youngest professor in Berkeley, and she was the youngest professor in Berkeley. And he was a botanist.
Oh, my God.
A study of plants. It was an incredible love life.
Well, I think, we can go on this, but this is very fascinating and kind of highlights so much of the turmoil, even to some extent the adventure of the war years.